A crazy squirrel over there, I guess. So this is a small spot that we added on my little experimental garden. So I've got, these are little snacking cucumbers, and these here will be little tomatoes. And because we had such a hard time with our tomatoes, these are starts that I bought, because most of the ones that I started in the house died because, well, when we put them out we ended up getting a frost, which isn't unusual in June, but it sucks still. So I ended up planting some too, and there's a little one in between those plants. That, I do believe, is like a cherry tomato as well. These are all beets. And then I've got a couple of cabbage plants and a couple of broccoli plants. And then I have some sunflowers. And there's some sunflowers up along the fence as well. And those little green things in between the sunflowers are lentils that I got from the grocery store. I had space, so I wanted to try to see if I could get them to grow. Here was a kind of another disaster. I planted their mammoth beets, and they just didn't come up. So I planted 2 short rows of carrots, and then those tomatoes there, the little seedlings coming up, are Romas. And here's my raised box. So I have kale, lettuce, and on the back is carrots. And I did have spinach growing, which I do still have a few plants there. We eat a lot of spinach, so I planted a lot of spinach, but I think there was little brown songbirds that were coming and taking my seedlings, so I don't have as many. And here I had some more brassicas planted, like, oh, what are they? Cauliflower, which I still have one, and then a few rogue carrots. So I went and planted some rainbow Swiss chard there, so we'd get a little bit more variety. These here are my pumpkins, my pie pumpkins. I still have the fence around them because I really want them this year because I haven't been able to grow them, and I don't want anything to get at them, but they're doing pretty good now. That could probably come off. These here are turnip because I absolutely love turnip, and I was determined to get some this year. And I also have a couple. That row there's flowers of some sort. I don't remember what. And then there's some broccoli, I think, planted in there as well. And this is corn, sweet corn, in a couple of rows. And this stuff was kind of experimental this year. Not so much the corn, because I know the corn will grow, but oats in this row. And then this is wheat. The wheat is not doing well. It came up really hardy and fast, and then, as you can see, the middle part of it died. And what is in the middle is rosemary, or sorry, not rosemary, lavender, because I want this to be my herb garden. Not next year, because next year we're letting the land rest, so it'll be the year after that. And here I have acorn squash because it's pretty much the only squash that we eat. So hopefully that'll grow really nice. And I'll actually take you up to the big garden. So come with me for the walk. I'm not taking a picture. I was coming to introduce them to Victor. This is our, what does my husband call him? Creepy friendly, too friendly looking, like he just wants a hug. Anyway, he named him Victor. Our son pretty much created him. He's doing a pretty good job, I think. I haven't seen any crows up here. I haven't seen any birds, really. Except for little ones. But anyway, I had to introduce you to Victor. Bye, Victor. So up here, this all right here that looks like grass is wheat. over here, we planted beets up here as well. Excuse me, mainly the mammoth beets are good for making sugar and animal fodder. So you make the sugar, and then what's left you can make beet pulp, but it doesn't look like any of that is coming up. So I guess they don't like it up here. Obviously it needs to be weeded, but we have feed corn popping up here. So hopefully a couple of rows of feed corn. And over here, we've got a few rows, all of these little guys. There's a whole bunch all the way down. Our pinto beans. And yeah, pinto beans, which actually was just an experiment. These were seeds from the grocery, or not seeds, beans from the grocery store that you would normally eat. So again, if you could see amongst the weeds, pinto beans. All the way up. And corn. There is corn in here. You just can't see it because of the grass. And then those lovely tall things over there. Potatoes. So potatoes, potatoes. But another new thing that we're doing, that we did this year, is sweet potato. We've never tried sweet potato before. These are just potatoes that we got from the grocery store that started to sprout. So we decided we're going to plant them. I'm hoping here, and here I'm going to plant the rest of the squash and some of the melons. This will be our orchard eventually, but apple tree, another apple tree. And then we've got blueberry, high bush. I got some more blueberry. And we have haskap up, way up there. I'm not going up there. I don't remember what these are. My husband planted these. Cherry and I have no idea. Pear, maybe? I think that one died. And over here are grapes that, again, need to be saved from all this grass. If you could buy more time, right? Here's our greenhouse. Somebody was doing some work over here, I guess. All right. So I want to see if I can get more onion bulbs to plant. We have a few, not too many. And I was in here weeding the other day, so it actually looks half decent in here. But rogue tomato plant, a couple of pickling cucumbers. Now, these were my starts from the house. The lesson I learned is that I will not start them when they tell you to. I will probably start my starts sometime in May next year. But we thought they all died. And the frost got them. They looked horrible. Some of them died. This row pretty much died. These ones are just the little tomatoes. These ones will be big slicer tomatoes. And then we've got Roma tomatoes, which are important for making sauces. For me, just because there's more to them. So these should all be Romas. We'll see. You know how it is, you start things and then kind of forget what they are. But look how good they're doing! And I thought they all died. And it's raining, thank the Father. And then we have green beans and yellow beans. But I don't know which is which. But we like to can those. And these are the pepper plants. So most of them died as well. They probably won't produce anything because I don't know. We're letting them grow anyway. So I'm going to try and get some starts and cover them every night and see if I can get some peppers to grow and put them in this area. And then this was our tomato forest last year. And we didn't really do anything here, I don't think. Oh, no, there's some hot peppers planted down there which did survive. But I don't know if they're going to do anything. They're so tiny. But, and then some peppers over there as well. But I think we're going to have a tomato forest again. This is crazy. This is just seed from the previous year that decided to grow again. So we may have a lot of tomatoes. Yeah, those are our gardens so far. We still have a lot of growing time. So, I shouldn't say a lot, but for us, it's a lot. Yeah, and my very favorite, just trying to hook the fence back up. These here are choke cherry trees, which I make choke cherry jelly from. This one doesn't look too good, but it's already got berries on it. It just needs to ripen, so we spend a bit of time out here picking choke cherries. And then we're going to extend the garden over here next year, or not next year, the next year after that. And hopefully make my area over there bigger and fenced in. This is my herb garden and some more starts that I started outside. So these here are broccoli. I'm going to leave them there just because they seem to be happy. This little one got totally nipped off by I don't know what. It's grown back. Those are Roma tomatoes, and they're going to a good friend because we ended up with so many. Sweet potatoes in the bucket. Herbs. Yarrow, anise, chives, some other stuff I don't remember. Hyssop anise, and parsley, chamomile, lavender, more sweet potato, hopefully strawberry in the blue bucket, and watermelon, honeydew that I grew from a plant, or sorry, a melon that I bought from the store. And so is this. I kind of forgot about it. I just threw the seeds in here and it just grew. So that's honeydew as well. And the ducks are going back in, I think. So this is my deck garden. So up here by the road, we don't mow this area or whippersnip or anything. We have a lot of wild blueberries growing. Oh, here we are. So we get quite a bit up in this area, and it just keeps growing up every year. So that's why we keep this unmowed. And these are our wild blueberry bushes. But there the apples are coming. It's not the tastiest apples. I mean, they're edible when they're ripe, but it's hard to get them when they're ripe. It's a pretty big tree, and a lot of them, the good apples, are at the top of the tree. But these apples make the best. They're the best for baking. They're just sweet enough, and they're super tart. So apple crisp, apple pie, all that good stuff. And most of these, well, there's some alders here, but over here, choke cherries. So lots of choke cherries. that we'll be picking as well.
Yeah, berries.
But yeah, apple jelly is what I make with those too, and it's really good. So we're gonna walk up to where the hascap bushes are. So we're gonna go for another little walk. Here are hascap. So hascap is kind of like a blueberry, but I guess they have more antioxidants in them. So here, this is the first year we've actually gotten any berries.
What are they?
So these are hascap.
Can we eat them?
That's what they look like. And those are ripe. So we'll probably have to pick those before the birds do. You gonna try it? What does it taste like?
Blueberry?
Yeah, okay. Don't eat them all. And this is another one, but I don't think there's anything on this one. These will all be moved down to where we have the blueberries. And I do believe this is another one. So, there you have it. They taste like blueberries. Yeah, and then, because we had all our blueberry bushes up here, and they didn't do well. So we moved them down. The blueberry bushes are doing fabulous, and hopefully the hascap will do just as well. So, that's
Try
that.
one.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our garden, and as it progresses and gets bigger and better, I'll update you some more. But this is we call it our park. My husband mows around so I can walk around here with the kids. It's really nice. It's fairly flat, but it also has a bit of a hill to give a little bit of exercise. We're gonna head back. See you later, guys. Little wild strawberry plant. We never get to the wild strawberries before the birds do. But just up here, these trees are so neat, and they run along the front of our property, which is good because they're full of thorns. So we're just kind of letting them grow up, and perhaps they will deter people if ever the need arises. But they're pretty neat, and they're really pretty. I don't know what they're called, so if you know, leave it in the comments. But they're so cool, because the leaves are really cool. And then look at those. Aren't they beautiful? They look like snapdragons, but just full. They're beautiful. Anyway, if you know what they are, let me know. We're in Canada, so it would be native to Canada. And in the maritime area, so they're pretty.